Please welcome AIM co-director and coordinator, Jeremiah Price.
From now on, I promise you that AIM will only present series Shakespearean shows. Only pieces with gut-wrenching, real drama, real deep passion will be presented on this stage, and we're going to begin tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, it reminds me of an article that I wrote. Excuse me, I have a few notes here. There we are. About an article I wrote about being a fantastic actor, to really get into the character. I wrote it years ago. The 15 steps to the most volatile acting you'll ever see in your life. Step number 15 is character. I'm going to go backwards in succession. Character. I believe that nothing is more important than...
JP.
What? I'm giving a speech. What's going on?
Well, we were just listening.
Yeah, what's this about serious passion?
Passion.
What happened to Axe and Chitty and now Pinocchio?
Hey, listen, guys, we've had some great times together. I mean, it's been a romp, it really has. But it's time that AIM switches to some more serious pieces.
JP,
what?
The stuff we do does teach a powerful lesson. It's a spectacle. Give joy to the community.
No, see, now no more spectacles. I'm not going to waste time with any more frivolous musicals. I'm not interested anymore.
JP, think of it for a musical.
Yes, a musical.
I'm sorry, what are we looking at?
A play where the dialogue stops and the plot is conveyed through song.
Yeah, right, through song.
Yes.
So an actor is saying his lines, and all of a sudden he's standing on stage, and all of a sudden he just starts singing.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, that is the stupidest thing that I have ever heard. You're doing a play, got something to say, so you sing it? That's absurd. Who on earth is going to sit there while an actor breaks into song? What possible thought could the audience think other than this is horribly wrong?
JP, they're not going to think that.
Oh yeah, seriously, why not?
Because...
Ladies and gentlemen, as I was saying, step number 14, I believe, is a fantastic
Musical.
That's right.
A musical.
Jenny, what is this?
And nothing's as amazing as a musical.
Turn this off.
With song and dance.
And sweet romance.
And happy ending, company, what happens dance.
Listen,
Bright lights, stage lights, and the dazzling pose.
It's gonna be great, and you gotta create
A musical.
yeah, I just don't think people are going to pay to see something like this.
Let's just say it's a Saturday night and you want to go out on the town.
Okay,
The family is ready to go, and you know that you can't let them down.
You could go out to dinner, see a movie on the big
Or
screen,
you could go see a concert.
or get loaded up at caffeine. You could go see a drama with all of the drama and pain. Or go see something more relaxing and less taxing on the brain.
Go see a
Musical.
I know, a musical. A pocket piece releasing all your musicals. With roots. And they were making waiting through your tilly food. That's ideal.
Some make you sad. Some quite strong.
Some are too long, some are just plain the song. Oh, musicals have no talking at all.
No talking at all.
That's right. Oh, there's no talking, and all of the dialogue is sung in a very dramatic fashion.
Really?
Yes, really.
Wait, there's no...
There's no talking. And you often stay on one note for a very long time, so that when you change to a different note, you notice. And it's supposed to create a dramatic effect, but most of you just sit there asking yourself, why aren't they talking?
That sounds miserable.
I believe it's pronounced miserable.
And people actually like this.
not to love. It's such a delight, there's nothing quite like a musical.
But JP, you're forgetting the very best part. Feel that fascinating rhythm move into your feet.
Oh no, this falls into the category of spectacle, I believe.
Feel your hips gyrating to that titillating beat.
No, we're not doing this part. It's ridiculous. It doesn't do anything for the show.
You slap your lap, fingers snap. That's when you know it's time to tap.
No, wait! What am I doing? Why am I doing this?
The music is pulling you into the spontaneous dance break.
But it doesn't advance the plot!
I know.
Or the characters!
Not one little bit.
But then, why are we doing it?
Because it's entertaining. A 5, 6,
It's a musical. What are you talking? It's a musical.
A musical.
A musical. The girls on stage. A musical. A musical.
Some musicals are very serious. Shining light is shining clear, rich and coarse, light and
It's a musical.
It's a musical.
It's a musical.
It's a musical.
Yes, I get it now! We'll do a musical.
No kidding.
A musical. What could be more amazing than a musical?
That's what we've been saying.
With song and dance and sweet romance.
Exactly.
And with the musical we might have a chance. Who's us? Make a fuss with everyone cheering for us. And for some unexplainable reason, the crowd goes wild every time. With dancers in unison, in one big wonderful rise. Then you got yourself a musical.
It's a me.
They'll be walking to see. Please welcome your host for the evening, Mr. Sandy Silverthorne.
You both got your style, and brother, you're never fully dressed without a smile. Your clothes may be so grumbly, they stand out a mile, but brother, you're never fully dressed without a smile. Ladies and gentlemen, the children of Ames. 4th annual AIM Variety Show. I can't see you very well, but how many of you have been here to all 4 of them? Okay, a few of you out there. That is great. Well, welcome. My name is Sandy Silverthorne, or as I'm known around town, the man who can brighten any room just by leaving it. But actually, I'll be your host for the evening, and this is the 2nd year in a row that they have asked me to host the AIM Variety Show, proving once again that some people don't learn from their mistakes. Hey, how did you like that first big opening number of musical? Impressive, wasn't it? You know what's even more impressive? 80% of the population of Independence was on stage. Speaking of Independence, I love this town. I came into town 2 days ago when we did the first show and saw that you have been voted an All-American City. Congratulations. That's a very big deal. I'm from Eugene, and you were voted one person. Thank you. Thank you, Mom. Eugene recently was voted the city who doesn't realize they're in America. I don't know if you've been down there recently, but really nothing's changed since 1968. You know, everything you expect: sandals, tie-dye, long hair, protest signs, and that's just the city council. You knew that one was coming, didn't you? Well, seriously though, I'm really thrilled to play a small part in tonight's variety show. Sit back and relax. You are going to have a ball. This is a great show, and like I said, I'm just really honored and privileged to be a small part of it. I think probably you know this, but if you don't, all the ticket sale, the money from the ticket sales, as well as the silent auction that's next door, and we'll tell you a little bit more about that later on. All of those proceeds will go towards financing and budgeting this spring's production, which is another musical. It's called My Son Pinocchio, Geppetto's Musical Tale. And as I mentioned, you'll be hearing more about that later on. In fact, throughout the evening, you're going to meet a lot of our directors and our performers. Hopefully tonight you'll meet the Reverend Dallas C.R. Dubkey. I know Dallas, I just never knew his last name. I just call him Reverend. Very close. Anyway, he's our vocal coach. You all recognize that. Of course, you'll hear some beautiful vocals tonight. A lot of you don't realize, though, that Dallas has performed off-Broadway several times. When we say that, we mean in the parking lot. And then also a lot of you know Janie Jefferson, our brilliant choreographer, and she is just so devoted to AIM. A couple weeks ago, I was in here, and she was painting sets, but it was interesting. It was kind of a warm day, but she had all these jackets on. And I said, Janie, why are you all bundled up? She goes, oh, the paint can says put on 3 coats. I'm not quite sure about that one. And then last but certainly not least, you'll get a chance to hear a little bit more from AIM's co-director, Jeremiah Price, or JP, a lot of you know him from, as that name. Jeremiah is kind of the human version of a participation trophy. He's got big plans for AIM. In fact, next year, he's planning to do the variety show at the zoo. That way his relatives can host. I don't know if a lot of you saw when you came in, there's a lot of construction out by the street. I hope you found a parking place and everything all right. Well, that construction, I've been told, is going to be a community youth center. That's really exciting. And I was actually relieved. I thought it was Jeremiah's new dressing room. Anyway, so we'll be hearing more from him too. And the AIM ministry continues their 2-year cycle. If you've been following AIM or come to the production, you realize that some years, 1 year we'll do like a biblical-based play, like Acts City Rising last spring. And 2 years ago we did Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, which is more of a family-friendly entertainment And they'll do that cycle every other year. Well, this spring, we're doing the story of Pinocchio, and I've been told it is not a Bible story. I was looking kind of at the script and some of the story. Apparently, it's about a young man who rebels, runs away, and ends up in the belly of a whale. There's nothing in the Bible like that. I've never noticed. I'm not sure about it. And of course, before the end of the night, you'll get a chance to get kind of a brief glimpse of the state of the ministry, where Jeremiah and Janie will both come out and share a little bit what's going on. A couple of years ago, Jeremiah went a little long on that part. I don't know if you were here, but a couple of years ago, it went kind of long. In fact, he's talking away, and a man got up and walked down the aisle and left. And then he came back a short while later, and after the show, Jeremiah found him and said, "Excuse me, where did you go?" He said, "Oh, I just went and got a haircut." Jeremiah said, "Why didn't you just get one before I started speaking?" He said, "I didn't need one before you started speaking." So Jeremiah assures me that he's going to cut that down a little bit tonight. And also, we noticed with the population of the church and in the number of young students that you just saw in this last number, it appears that AIM's main demographic is either 12-year-old girls or the retired. So a year from now, you can look forward to seeing their production, My Little Pony, the musical. But for all of us seniors, they're going to do it in black and white. Make us more familiar with that. But actually, in all seriousness, I love being a part of AIM, and I know a lot of you feel like you're a part of it too. We celebrate tonight the beginning of Arts Integrated Ministries' 4th theatrical season. The enthusiastic volunteers of AIM have served the community with dedication and honor for 4 years, providing opportunities for over 100 performers, directors, and artists, and all told have been a provider of family entertainment for thousands of audience members. They remain dedicated to the mission statement, providing opportunities for performers to express godly faith through productions depicting biblical values. But none of it would be possible without the generosity of the community, the support of this amazing church, and the grace of God. So thank you so much, and thank you for coming out and supporting the show tonight. One thing I have noticed in my years in theater, and even being a part of AIM, is you have to kind of be flexible. You have to be ready, because you never know what kind of crazy thing is going to happen next.
Ladies and gentlemen, an incredible experience awaits you this evening. You know them from their trend-setting work on runways around the world. They are known as the men who brought the chaps to Chile, the kilt to Kenya, and the jean jacket to Djibouti. Please put your hands together for international supermodel brothers, Sven and Arvin Yakovlevich.
Of an AIM musical. But what a lot of you don't know is sometimes rehearsals are not exactly a walk in the park. In fact, sometimes they're downright crazy. Well, we're going to welcome some of our student performers tonight to give us a little backstage glimpse as they present a song from You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, entitled Leaf Club Rehearsal.
Hey, give me back my pencil. No, not until you give me back my fidget spinner. Well, that's my best pencil. If you don't give me back my pencil, I'll tell Sally what you said about her. Guys, we're late. We have to rehearse. What did you say about me? I said, remember, this is a movie. We must paint a picture, music, and words. And concentrate! Remember, adagio con brio. Oh, give me a home where the buffalo roam and the deer and the antelope play. Give me my pencil where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day. Give me my pencil.
Who goes there?
I am the knight that waits without.
Without what?
Without the gate.
Oh, I'll tell the king. There is a knight who waits without.
Yes, yes, without what?
Without the gate.
Give him the gate.
Oh. No, was thinking, Your Highness.
Yes, I give him.
All right. Here. Here.
Here?
Yes, here's the gate.
I do want.
Well, what do you want?
I come seeking the princess's hand in marriage.
Just her hand.
No. All of her.
Oh, Oliver the cook.
No. The princess.
Oh, has she changed her name again?
I don't know.
All right, I'll ask the king. There's a knight that without.
Without what?
Without the gate.
I thought we gave him the gate.
Oh, he didn't want the gate.
What does he want?
He wants the princess's hand in marriage.
No, I say, just her hand.
No, Oliver.
Oh, Oliver the cook, yes.
No, the princess.
Did she change her name again?
No.
Well, fine. You know what I'll do? I will ask my wife.
Oh, good.
Oh, queen! Oh, darling! Sweetie pie! Darling, there is a knight who waits without.
Without what?
Without the gate, sweetheart.
Oh, darling, give him the gate.
Oh, yes, but we tried that. You see, he doesn't want it.
What does he want?
He comes seeking the princess's hand in marriage.
Just her hand?
No, darling, Oliver.
Oh, Oliver the cook.
No, darling, princess.
Did she change her name again?
I don't know.
Oh, well, I'll ask her. I mean, it's the least I can do. Oh, sweetheart.
Yes, mother? Yes?
Sweetie pie.
Yes, I'm here.
There, are you there?
Yes.
There's a knight that waits without
Without what?
without the gate.
Oh, well, give him the gate.
Oh, no, we gave him the gate. He didn't want it.
What does he want?
He wants your hand in marriage.
Oh, just my hand.
No, all of you.
Oh, my goodness, this is a decision.
What say? Take your time.
Okay, I'm going to tell him.
Yes.
Okay, no, not yes. Tell him no.
Oh, really?
Yes, no, yes,
No.
no, tell him no.
No, make up your mind.
No.
Okay, I'll tell your father. I'm not good at these kinds of things.
Huh?
Snuggles!
Yes, sweet pie?
My little lammy pie!
Yes. Oopsie?
Apparently, our daughter says nib.
No.
No. Zip, nada, nix it all, the whole thing.
So the answer is no.
No.
Okay. I will tell the gatekeeper. Gatekeeper?
Yes, what is it?
Yes, gatekeeper. The princess, please relay this message to the knight. The princess says no.
Okay, I will relay that to the knight who waits without.
Thank you. Yes.
Oh, knight!
Yes.
Knight that waits without. Oh, nice catch. Oh, so you've got a pretty good target there.
Yes, I was here for the monologue. Yes.
Where was I? Oh, the princess. Oh,
Her answer would be
nothing. No. Zip.
no.
No. She says no. Princess said no.
Stab her! I have vanquished him.
Is that what you did?
Well, I wonder if there's anyone else around here.
Yes.
I am the knight that waits without.
Without what?
Without the gate.
Without the gate? Well, did we give you the gate?
I don't want it.
What do you want?
I come seeking the princess's hand in marriage.
Just her hand.
No, Oliver.
Oliver the cook.
No, the princess.
Oh, did she change her name again?
No.
Oh, well then I'll ask my beautiful and gracious wife. Oh dear.
Yes.
There's a knight that waits without.
Without what?
Did you do something to your hair?
I was hoping you'd notice.
Very, very nice. Yes. It's not backward. Well, there's a knight, but not the gate.
You did this conversation alone. We'll give it to him.
Oh, he didn't want the gate.
What does he want?
He wants our princess's hand in marriage.
Oh, just her hand.
No, Oliver.
Oh,
No, the princess.
oh, did she change her name?
No.
No, okay, well, I will ask her. Oh, darling!
Oh, yes.
Sweetie, honey, baby, pussycat. Yes, darling, there is a knight that waits with her.
Without what?
Without the gate, sweetheart.
Oh, give him the gate.
No, we tried that. You come seeking your hand in there.
Just my hat?
No, all of you.
Oh, all of me. Oh, I thought we'd been through this already.
Listen, this is an important decision, darling. With it, we don't want to rush these things, darling.
I'm wondering. I think so not.
No, well, I understand, darling. A woman's mind is made up. All right, please, I'll tell your father.
Yes, please do.
Yes, darling. Darling, the princess. Yes, the princess says no.
No.
No?
Oh, I'll have to relay that sorry news to the knight.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes?
She says no.
No?
No.
I'm getting tired of this. Stand up.
Oh, I'm done now.
No, please.
Take the mic over here.
Yes, you're the queen. All right. I am the knight that waits without.
Without what?
Without the gate.
Oh, didn't we give me the gate?
No, I don't want it.
What do you want?
I come seeking the princess's hand in marriage.
Just her hat.
No, all of them.
Oliver the cook.
No, the princess.
Did she change her name again?
No.
Well, I'll just have to ask her. Although I know I must say, now that the king's gone, you're a tall drink of water.
I remember this. He's coming seeking my hand in marriage.
Marriage, the whole thing all over.
Right, okay, I remember. Okay, the answer, no, listen, no, I said no. The answer is no.
Oh, no, really?
No,
oh.
no, and I didn't change my name. No.
Okay, oh, I forgot to say that part.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, well, I will tell the knight that waits without. Oh, one other thing, darling.
Stand up! Perfect. There's a long staircase to open. I am the knight that waits without.
Without what?
Without the gate.
Oh, did we give you the gate?
No, I don't want it.
What do you want?
I come seeking your hand in marriage.
Just my hand?
No, darling, all of you.
Oh, seriously?
Yes.
Oh, no, I just don't think so.
No?
Thanks for coming by.
No. Okay, hold on. Shh. Okay. Listen, princess, I have journeyed far and wide for the privilege of seeking your hand in marriage.
Oh.
Please, won't you reconsider my offer?
Oh, my goodness, you put me in such a tight spot, but that's so romantic.
Oh, yes.
I guess I'll have to say yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Ah, darling, please remove your veil and expose yourself to me.
All right.
Stand up!
There's nothing like top-flight, high-quality entertainment. And that was nothing like top-flight, high-quality entertainment. In the 1950s, audiences clamored for Billy Wilder's presentation of the dark side of Hollywood in his film noir, Sunset Boulevard. You all remember that final climactic line, "All right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up." Well, 40 years later, Sunset Boulevard became a hit Broadway musical starring Glenn Close. And tonight, we're going to present, some of our adult performers, going to present a scene from that production. Let me set the scene for you. First of all, right now we're in the elaborate mansion of Norma Desmond, the fading silent film star, as she brings in a local haberdasher to dress her sloppy but very handsome young new boyfriend as we present The Ladies Playing.
Hurry up, the birthday boy is on his way. This is a surprise celebration. I hope you've remembered everything I've said. I want to see a total transformation.
Norma, what's all this?
Oh, happy birthday, darling. Did you think we'd forgotten? Well, these people are from the best men's shop in town. I had them close it down for the day. But Norma, now I'll leave you boys to it.
Happy birthday, welcome to your shop-a-thon.
What's going on?
Help yourself, it's all been taken care of. Anyone who's anything is dressed by me.
Well, golly gee.
Dig out anything you'd like a pair of. You just point, I'll do the rest. I brought nothing but the best. You're a very lucky writer. Come along now, get undressed. Oh, no, so much mistaken. That's according to it's just.
I don't understand the word you're saying.
Well, all you need to know is the lady's paying. It's nice to get your just reward this time of year.
Get out of here.
And all my merchandise is strictly kosher. When we've thrown away all your old worn-out stuff.
Hey, that's enough.
Perhaps you'd like to model for my brochure. I have just the thing for you. Chalk striped suits in black or blue.
Black trousers.
And Miss Widow.
Bathing shorts from Malibu.
Here's a hat and a lace up. It's a virtuoso shoe. Not a simply marvelous coat made of vicuna.
You know what you can do with your vicuna.
Come on, Joe, you haven't even started yet.
You want a man.
I thought by now he'd look at the height of fashion. He always takes forever making up his mind. Don't be unkind. I thought you writers knew about compassion. I love flannel on a man.
Compliment his hand.
I'll take 2 of these and 4 of
I'm
those.
still your greatest fan. Very soon now we'll have started looking like an also ran.
You're going to make me sorry that I'm staying.
Well, all right, I'll choose. After all, I'm paying.
Evening clothes.
I want to see your most deluxe.
Don't wear a tux.
Oh, of course not, dear. Tuxedos are for waiters.
What we need are tails and white tie and tall hats.
I can't wear that. Joe, second-rate clothes are for second-raters.
Norma, please.
Shut up! I'm rich. Not some diva, but it's rich. I own so many apartments, I've forgotten which is which.
I don't have to go to previews. I'm never on display. You seem to forget that I'm a writer. Who cares what you wear when you're a writer?
I care, Joe, and please don't be so mean to me.
Okay, alright.
You can't come to my New Year's Eve party in that filling station shirt.
I'll be invited somewhere else on New Year's Eve.
Where?
Harvey Green's. It's a friend of mine.
I can't do without you, Joe. I need you. I've sent out every single invitation.
Alright, Norma, I give in.
Of course you do. And when they've dressed you, you'll cause a sensation.
We with the chosen few of movie land.
The latest cut.
We dress every movie star and crooner. From the shiny toe caps to their hatbands.
Conceal your gut. You won't regret selecting the vicuna.
If you need a hand to shake, if there's a girl you want to make, there's a soul you have to capture, or a heart you want to break. If you want the one to love you,
You have to learn to fake.
gracefully accept the role you're playing.
You will learn every cent the lady's paying.
And why not have it all?
Now that didn't hurt, did it?
The lady's paying.
Well, during this next song, I really want you to listen to the words. A lot of you will recognize the song. In one of the lines it says, I keep fighting voices in my head who say, I keep fighting voices in my head saying I'm not enough. We all know how isolating it can be to feel like we don't fit in. And those of you with children know how hard it is to help them through these difficult times. But Isaiah 43:1 says, "But thus says the Lord, He who created you, O Jacob, He who formed you, O Israel, fear not, for I have redeemed you." And here's my favorite part. "I have called you by name. You are mine." Well, let's watch this next act where student dancers present an original piece, a song by Laura Daigle entitled "You Say."
I keep fighting voices in my mind that say I'm not enough. Every single lie that tells me I will never measure love. Am I more than just the sum of every high and every low? Remind me once again just who I am, because I need to know. Ooh, you say I'm loved when I can't feel me. You say I'm strong when I think I'm weak. And you say I'm held when I'm falling short. And when I don't belong, oh, you say I'm yours. And I believe, oh, I believe what you say to me. I believe the only thing that matters now is everything you think of me. In you I find my worth, in you I find my identity. You say I'm loved when I can't feel things. You say I'm strong when I think I'm weak. And you say I'm held when I am falling short. When I don't belong, oh, you say I'm yours. And I believe, oh, I believe what you say to me. Oh, I believe. Taking all I have and now I'm laying it at your feet. You have every failure, God. You have every victory. You say I'm loved when I can't feel things. You say I'm strong when I think I'm weak. You say I'm held when I am falling short. When I don't belong, oh, you say I'm yours.
unfortunate, it's not just young people, but all of us have these voices in our head, these little lies that keep telling us, you're not enough, you'll never make it, you're lonely, nobody likes you, you don't fit here, you don't belong, you're a fraud. And yet, those aren't real, those aren't true. A couple of years ago, I got a new cell phone, and shortly after that, I started getting a phone call pretty regularly, usually on a weekend night, from some guy in Portland. I didn't know him, he didn't know me, it was a wrong number basically, but he'd always call. It was like, once a week. And so I didn't know the number, so I took it out. Hello, hi, is Doug there? And oh my gosh, it's that guy again. Oh, hi, Doug's not here, And so after about the fourth or fifth time, my daughter said, Dad, give me the phone, give me the phone. She programmed something, and then a week later, the phone rang again, and I opened it up, and my daughter had written in wrong number. So when this guy called, I knew it was a wrong number, and I didn't have to answer. Well, I challenge you, when those voices start, when those thoughts, those negative thoughts and things that are lying to you start, just try to picture that wrong number. You don't have to answer that one, all right? In fact, we can even go further and say maybe God's on call or a call waiting. And so rather than picking up the wrong number, all these lies that are going in to talk to you, pick up God's line. He's the one that's telling you the truth. You open up to your cell phone to call waiting, and it's God, and He says things like, "You're loved. I created you. I knew you before you were even in your mother's womb. I know every hair on your head, and I love you enough to die for you." That's the truth. Answer that one when He calls. He even calls you His treasure. You are my treasure. In fact, right now, real quick, turn to the person next to you, point to them, look them in the eye and say, "You're God's treasure." Go ahead. That's the truth. That's the truth. And then, in fact, while we're at it, point to yourself and say it just as loud, "I'm God's treasure." You really are. That is the truth. And I hope you remember this dance and that wrong number story, and that you are God's treasure. Well, we're going to shift gears right now. I'm very excited about this next act. It's kind of an international flair. In fact, I'm not even going to tell you about it. I'm just going to let you discover and enjoy it for yourself.
Ladies and gentlemen, please prepare yourselves for an unbelievable treat. Hailing from Russia, born in the streets of St. Petersburg just after the height of the Cold War, one man danced his way out of the ghettos and into the hearts of millions the world over. Fresh off his South American tour of Copilia, he joins us for one night only. He's naked, he's bold, and worth his weight in gold. Ladies, stay in your seats. Presenting internationally acclaimed dancer, Alexander Augrevis and
and his 10 best friends. Well, Robert may not think that marriage is very important to him, but his friends tend to disagree. Probably because his 10 friends are also 5 married couples. Well, this comedic number this evening, Robert reflects on the pros and cons of being the third wheel before becoming a part of the carnival that is the uptight, zany, and downright neurotic couples that surround him. In this medley from Company, we present Side by Side and What Would We Do Without You?
I mean, when you've got friends like
Say, impression was mistook. My cover is nice, my cover is not the book. Would you give us an example?
Certainly. Now Rowena was made of wood, but what could not be seen was though her trunk up top was bare and but her roots were lush and green. So in spring when Mr. Hickory saw her blossoms blooming there, he took root despite her bark, and now there's ceilings everywhere.
Which proves our cover is not the book, so open it up and take a look. 'Cause under the covers one discovers that the king may be a crook. Chapter titles are like signs that hit the read between the lines. You'll find your first impression was mistook. For a cover is nice, but a cover is not the book.
Should we do the one about the wealthy widow?
Oh, by all means.
I always loved that one.
Go on then.
Lady Hyacinth Macaw brought all her treasures to a reef.
Where she only wore a smile.
Plus 2 feathers and a leaf.
So no one tried to rob her because she barely wore a stitch.
So when you're in your birthday suit, there ain't much there to show you're rich.
Oh, the cover is not the book, so open it up and take a look. 'Cause under the covers one discovers that the king may be a crook. Taroo-la-dee, taroo-la-la, taroo-la-dee, ta-ra-ta-ta. You'll find your first impression was mistook. Yada-da-da. For the cover is nice, the cover is not the book. Ooh, give us the one about the dirty rascal, why don't you?
Isn't that one a bit long?
Well, the quicker you're into it, the quicker you're out of it.
Once upon a time in a nursery rhyme, there was a castle with a king hiding in a wing. Because he never went to school to learn a single thing. He had scepters and swords and parliamentary rolls, but on the inside he was sad. Because he never had a wisdom for numbers, a wisdom for words. Those promises flying in, his brain was smaller than a bird's. So the queen of the nation made her royal proclamation to the mistress of the message. The more or less, bring me all the lads from everything you into the air. Dresses when they came from the east and they came from the south. From each college they poured knowledge when they raised into his mouth. But the king couldn't learn speech from Bethlehem and fate. For the queen had their heads removed and placed upon the gate. And on that day, I swear there was over London, and it was now the late break. But then suddenly one day a stranger started in to sing. He said, I'm the dirty rascal, I'm here to teach the king. And the queen clutched her jewels, but she hid it royal fool. But the school had some rules, they really ought to teach the school. Like you'll be a happy king if you enjoy the things you got. You never try to be the kind of person that's run off. So we say here they laugh for the king and not a threat. And they ran up to a ring before the story's put again. So the more of it you must have the outside you die. We're stops and that's right. Well, this is sharp and gentle, then you're better hide. Petrified. No, the truth can be denied as I now testify. All that really comes and matters is the special stuff inside. We did it!
Oh, the cover is not the book, so open it up and take a look. 'Cause under the covers one discovers that the king may be a crook.
So please listen to what we said.
And open it up, tonight in bed.
So one more time before we get the hook. Sing it out strong. The cover is not the book. The cover is not the book. The cover is not the book. The cover is not the book.
Next up, we have a very special message from a very special guest. This man has traveled over an ocean and several centuries to come and deliver this important message to us tonight. And to peddle his personal ideology that America really should have stuck with the monarchy back so many years ago. So please won't you welcome His Royal Highness King George III.
You say the price of my love is not a price that you're willing to pay. You cry your tea which you hurl in the sea when you see me go by. You are so sad. Remember you made an arrangement when we went away. Be mine. Remember despite the estrangement on your mind, you'll be back. You will see. You'll remember you belong to me. You'll be back. will fight the fighting with for your love, for your grace, and all of it till my dying day. When you're gone, I'll go back to the road and when wish comes to shove, I will kill your friends and family, remind you of my
Something, wasn't it? Well, if you'd like to speak to him after the show, I believe he'll be in the lobby trying to take a cut out of the donations of the herbal tea basket. You could just look for him there. You know, I was talking to God the other day, and I said, Lord, is it true that with you, a million years is like a minute? He goes, yeah, that's true. I said, is it true that like $1 million is like a penny? He goes, yeah, that's true too. So I went, Lord, could I have a penny? And he said, in a minute. That's the kind of relationship with God. Well, next up, most of you are going to recognize this next performer from Acts City Rising, where he played the hilarious Ananias. Well, tonight, I guess your mom is. Hold on, it's getting better. Tonight he's playing a new character, Billy the Kid's second step cousin, and he's got a real zany, twisted tail. I think you'll recognize him.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is Killy the Beard. And I'm going to tell you a steak time story. This is an ancient fairy tale. Some of you may have heard it before, especially you. This is the tale of Ringersilla and the Prancing Hands. Well, once upon a time, in a foreign country, there lived a beautiful bird. Her name was Ringersilla. Now, Ringersilla, she lived with her ugly other and her two sad blisters. And also in the same foreign country, there was a very prancing Hans. Now, this prancing Hans, he wanted to throw a fancy fall. And so he invited the people from miles around, especially the pitch regal. Now, Ringersilla, her ugly other and her two sad blisters, they went out to buy some fancy fences to wear to the fancy fall, but Ringersilla, she's gonna go. Because all she had to wear were some old dirty dags. Well, finally, the night of the fancy fall arrived, and Ringersilla couldn't go. So she just sat down and shrine. And she was getting there, shrine, and all at once, there appeared before her Gary Father. And she touched her with her magic hand, and there appeared a King Boach and 6 white horses to take her to the fancy ball. Oh my goodness. Her Gary's godmother said, now Rinker Sailor, you be sure you be home before midnight. We'll all burn you into a junket. So Rinker Sailor went to the fancy ball. Oh my goodness. Prancing Hans was waiting at the door because he'd been watching through a window. And Rinker Sailor and the Prancing Hans thing, names all died until midnight. And they lived in love. Now finally, the mid-clock struck night. And Rinker Sailor staced down the rares, and when she beats the rudder, he slopped her dripper. Well, the next day, that Prancing Hansie went all over that foreign country looking for the beautiful girl who had slopped her dripper. And finally, he came to Rinker Sailor's house, and he tried it on her ugly other. And it's been dead. He tried it on her two sad blisters. And it didn't get neither. Finally, he tried it on Rinker Sailor, and guess what? It fit dead. It was exactly the size. Well, they were married, and they lived happily ever afterwards. Now, the story of the story is this. If you ever go to the fancy ball, and you want the Prancing Hans to fall in love with you, don't forget to slop your dripper.
How many of you are going to remember to slop your dripper? That was great. Obviously, you recognize that as the twisted version of Cinderella. But just for fun, let's stay inside that story for this next number. We're going to rewind a little bit to after the ball. We're going to enter the home of some beautiful ladies who have just had a really magical night. So please enjoy some of our female ensemble as they present a song from Rodgers and Hammerstein's story, Cinderella, with A Lovely Night.
What a perfect night!
See that handsome prince?
See him? He brushed my shoulder.
You bumped into him on purpose.
Did you see us? We danced too. Well, he kissed my hands. He did. He kissed it right there. Well, he kissed it. Lovely night, lovely night. The skies with easy heaven tremble about you while he is whispering, darling, I love you. You say goodbye, away you fly. My love is to keep a kiss all your life. Will dream of this lovely, lovely night. You meet your prince, a charming prince, as charming as a prince.
their own fault. I bet not one of them slopped their dripper. I just got this. Somebody handed this to me from backstage. It says, apparently, a gentleman's wallet containing $400 has been found. Will the rightful owner please form a line in the lobby? I know this crowd. Well, now we're keeping it all in the family. In just a second, Jamie's father and 3 of his granddaughters are going to come out and present a really zany tale. So please welcome Tom Glogow, joined by Evie, Momana, and Nellie as they present a really fun, silly tongue twister called Sam Sampson.
You've all heard of seat covers, and I'm sure you've heard of sheepskin seat covers, and I'll bet that many of you have heard of simulated sheepskin seat covers. But did you ever wonder, where does simulated sheepskin come from? Well, it comes from simulated sheep, a special species of creature closely related to the naga, from which we get naga hide. This is the story of a man who raised simulated sheep. And it is also the longest tongue twister that we know.
And so starts the strange story of Sam Sampson, the super synthetic sheepherder of the South Central Swanee Slough.
Now, surely you've seen signs saying, select Sam Sampson surefire simulated sheepskin seat covers, especially suitable for your Chevrolet Saab or Subaru.
Well, Sam started simply as a second-hand sheep seller, selling second-hand sheep to settlers in small straggling settlements between Sioux City and Saginaw.
But Sam soon saw a second-hand sheep seller could scarcely scrape a salary of 76 cents from sales between Sunday and Saturday, and so Sam sold his second-hand sheep syndicate to Simon Simonson, the speculator in second-hand sheep stock and securities from Seattle,
With subsidiaries in Spokane and Salem.
and started for the South Central Swanee Slough, where someone said simulated sheep grew sleek and sassy on the soybean, sorghum, and sassafras that sprouted amongst the sycamores, cedars, and cypresses in that soggy, sloggy slough.
But Sam soon saw that the South Central Swanee Slough also had snakes. Sly, scaly, slimy, sneaky serpents that slithered down the sides of the sycamore, cedars, and cypress and stalked Sam's sheep, causing them to shed their synthetic skins too soon.
Sam sat on a sycamore stump and sobbed. It was certainly a sorry sight to see his sheep shivering and shuddering without their synthetic skins to shield them from the skeeters and the snakes.
Surely I must save my sheep, Sam suddenly shouted.
And he seized a sycamore stick and a cedar switch, and he started swinging.
And he swatted, and he struck, and he smacked, and he spanked those sly, scaly, slimy, sneaky serpents so savagely that he scattered them from Savannah to Sausalito.
And by Saturday at 7, the South Central Swanee Slough was once again safe for Sam's sheep to savor the soybean, sorghum, and sassafras in safety.
And so Sam solved his first serious situation.
But still Sam seemed sad and sorrowful, staying single and solitary, and subsisting on simple snacks of strawberries, sauerkraut, sesame seeds, and sarsaparilla soda.
So Sam switched his socks and shined his shoes and set off to see his sweetheart, Sarah Sally Susie Scrags.
But Sarah Sally Susie Scraggs was smugly and snugly settled in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, and could scarcely stand the sight of the South Central Swanee Slough or the smell of Sam's sheep.
Sheep stink.
Sarah Sally said succinctly.
They also sweat and snort. How shall I sleep softly and soundly, surrounded by 7 scores of sweaty, stinky, smelly sheep?
Sam stood stock still in shocked silence.
Then he slowly shrugged his shoulders and said so long to his sweetheart, who, as her stepsister Sadie sadly shook the snow, sat on a seat sewing shirts and studying Shakespeare, still saying Sam's sheep stank.
And so the strange saga of Sam Sampson,
The super synthetic sheep herder of the South Central Swanee Slough.
Simply and suddenly stopped.
stage, she handed me this note right before I came on stage. It said, "To a real dad." That is so cute. She misspelled dad, D-U-D. So nice. It's the clock. Well, this is one of my favorite numbers in the show, and it is undoubtedly a timeless classic. It was written in 1936 by Cole Porter and was sung by Virginia Bruce in the film Born to Dance. It would go on to be nominated for Best Original Song for a movie that year. But I think, like me, most of you will recognize it as one of Frank Sinatra's signature songs. And if you're a little bit younger than that, in 1966, it became a top 10 hit when the Four Seasons covered it. So please enjoy now, with members of our adult ensemble, this is just one of my favorites, "I've Got You Under My Skin." Well, every child wants to grow up and do something exciting and wonderful with their life as an adult. But frankly, ladies and gentlemen, one of the highlights of auditioning for an AIM production is that you, even the adults in the program, get to return to that childlike fun. Isn't it pretty evident everybody's having a ball up here? We're all backstage dancing to whatever song it is. We're all enjoying it. It's really wonderful. So there's this childlike element, even for the adults, with all of the production. There's music, dancing, there might be an Elvis impersonator, flying cars, and Bible epics come to life. But the reality is, still the children in our shows can't help but dream about days when they're all grown up and out on their own. The Bible says in Ephesians 4:15, speaking the truth in love, we are grown up in every way into Him who is the head, into Christ. Well, please enjoy our student performers in a number from Matilda the musical, a beautiful song called When I Grow Up. But I am so touched backstage, like we all had dinner together tonight, and it's just so much fun to watch what's going on backstage with this AIM. And I don't use the term family lightly. It truly is a family. Little kids are playing with the 20-somethings, and the 20-somethings are helping get somebody dressed or get their suspenders on. We've got ages from 6 all the way up to me, which is years old. But it's this wonderful unit from all kinds of different churches around Independence and Monmouth. It's just so sweet. And how many of us know how special it is to walk with Christ in the company of other believers. That's really what's happening here. Fellow believers encourage us with their words as well as they challenge us to be accountable. The next song tells the story of two friends whose friendship strengthened them both by challenging their point of view. From the finale of the musical Wicked, will you please enjoy Bethany Allen and Shannon Pete as they present For Good.
I'm limited. Just look at me. I'm limited. And just look at you. You can't do all I could do. So now it's up to you. For both of us. Now it's up to you. I've heard it said that people come into our lives for a reason, bringing something we must learn, and we are led to those who help us most to grow if we let them, and we help them in return. Well, I don't know if I believe that's true, but I know I'm who I am today because I knew you. Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes our sun, like a stream that meets a boulder halfway through the world. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? Because I knew you. I have been changed for good. It will make me that we never meet again in this lifetime. So let me say before we part, so much of me
not a God far off. We know through the Lord's promises that He's with us and walks with us through difficult times in our lives. We read this in Psalm 34:18. The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Well, let's listen now to AIM vocal director Reverend Dallas C.R. Dupke as he performs this inspiring number from Carousel. Please enjoy You'll Never Walk Alone.
And don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of the storm, there's a golden sky, and the sweet silver sound of the lark. Walk, walk through the wind, walk on through the rain, though your dreams be tossed and your
Ladies and gentlemen, as you well know, the ministry started back in 2016 with an event similar to this one. Then it was just 12 students in a small variety show in the other room, and now we have 50 to 60 performers with each of our shows. It's due to the grace of the Lord that He's brought so many wonderful supporters to the ministry.
Yes, truly the Lord has done some incredible things in the ministry since that last variety show, that first variety show about 4 years ago. He's brought people who are passionate about our ministry to come and perform with us. He's brought sponsors who believe in us and have given us the opportunity through their generous donations to provide scholarships for children, to purchase lights, to purchase body mics, so that we can continue to present these wonderful presentations on stage.
We find ourselves on a 2-year cycle, where 1 year we'll do a biblical musical, and the following year a family values musical, promoting biblical values. Ladies and gentlemen, it's all part of our commitment. What we've committed to is that good, wholesome family entertainment that we want to provide year after year, whether we are doing a biblical show or one centered on biblical values.
And in keeping with that pattern, this spring could be presenting our family-friendly musical, and we have chosen My Son Pinocchio, Geppetto's musical tale. This is a play that has reflections in the book of Jonah, as Jonah rebelled against God. Pinocchio rebels against his father, and so we see the lessons that he learns there. And there's also a very poignant message for us as parents and the way that we relate to our children.
Yes, Jeremiah 23:24 says, "Can a man hide himself in hiding places so I do not see him, declares the Lord? Do I not fill the heavens and the earth?" As we see many times in the Bible, there's nowhere on earth that Jonah can hide from God as he begins to rebel. Just as in our lives, no matter the difficulties, no matter the places we find ourselves, there is no hole so deep the Lord cannot help us out. And we find that in Pinocchio when he goes off to the distant island. There's nowhere where he will not eventually reconnect with his father.
Yes, now the play is a lot deeper than the movie. So as we explore the play, we see these lessons coming to life. And I'd like to read from Ephesians 6:4. It says, "Fathers, do not exasperate your children. Instead, bring them up in the training and instruction of the Lord." And in Colossians, we read, Colossians 3:21, "Fathers, do not embitter your children, or they will become discouraged." And Geppetto learns these lessons throughout the course of our play this spring. And he learns that while he might not be a perfect father, he is the perfect father for Pinocchio. In Proverbs 8-9, it says, "Listen, my son, to your father's instruction, and do not forsake your mother's teaching." See, Geppetto's not the only one who learns a lesson. It goes on to say that your father's instruction is a garland to grace your head and a chain to adorn your neck. Now, Pinocchio might not be at first happy with who his earthly father is. He thinks that he doesn't need his wisdom, doesn't need his training, doesn't need his instruction in this brand new world that he's exploring. But as the play progresses, he realizes that he does need Geppetto's guidance in his life.
So ladies and gentlemen, whether you are a performer with us, you're part of our production team, or you are a patron supporting the ministry, we continue to be cognizant of the fact that the Lord has a place for each person in this work that He is doing in this community. We remain committed to that mission statement of providing a place where performers can express godly faith through productions depicting the biblical values. And if you are a patron, if you're a patron with us, you'll find that donating to our ministry is not donating to a stagnant program, ladies and gentlemen. It's donating to a vibrant, growing, and exciting ministry serving all ages in this community. Truly, we all have a place in what could be called the brotherhood of man. Ladies and gentlemen, we find that each of us has a place in God's kingdom.
One member is professional, and this is her first time, but everyone's important. They all get their chance to shine.
They say the theater has a star, and only one can win. But learn about this one great club that all of us are in.
There is a brotherhood of man,
A benevolent brotherhood of man, a noble tie that binds all human hearts and minds into one brotherhood of man.
friends, before you count us out for not having the fanciest sets or tech around, well, remember this.
A theater in a church, my friend, may seem a bit bizarre.
As crazy as it seems, my friends, that is what we are.
A crazy group of old and young who always wear a grin.
That's the natural cosmic love that all of us are in.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you please.
That noble feeling feels like bells are leaving down with double dealing. Oh, brother, you got me, I got you. Oh, that noble feeling feels like bells are leaving down with double dealing. Oh, brother, you got me, I got you. Your lifelong membership is free. You give each brother all you can. Oh, aren't you proud to be here in the ministry, the great big brotherhood of
No, just kidding. Hey, thank you again. God bless you, and thanks again for a wonderful evening.